What's up guys, this is Anime Crossover. I'm back with another episode of Final Naruto was the Legendary Silver Fox Part 5. And if you did enjoy this video, give this video a like, and if you're new to my channel and like my content, subscribe and hit that notification bell for more crossover fictions with a twist. Now let's begin this new video.
Tazuna mumbled under his breath and threw away the air fragrance as both squads exited the entrance. Sasuke and Sakura were partnered to the right of Tazuna, Shino and Kiba to the left, Naruto, Kira, and Hinata in front, and Kakashi and Kurenai in the rear. As they walked, Kira, Naruto, Hinata, Sasuke, and Sakura chose to conceal their characteristics with a basic genjutsu. The party continued going down the road until they came across a pool of water. "Sakura?" inquired Sasuke. "Without a doubt, genjutsu," Sakura said, "and a mediocre one at that. It hasn't even rained in days," Kurenai said. "Ow, you little brat." Naruto slammed a boulder into the stone. Two ninjas in gray tattered cloaks emerged from the pool, each clutching a claw in the opposing hand while his companion was bound with a bladed chain. The enemy ninjas encircled and trapped Kakashi and Kurenai. "Ha, ha, let's finish these two," the ninja said, pulling on their rope and immediately tearing Kurenai and Kakashi. "Kurenai Haim!" exclaimed Naruto, Kira, and Hinata. "Kakashi-sensei, Kurenai-sensei," Sakura shouted. "With the Jonin gone, these pipsqueaks should be easy pickings," one of the samurai said. "Ha, too slow," said the person who appeared behind Naruto. "Bring it," Naruto said demonically. The ninja struck Naruto, only for his afterimage to grasp the enemy's artificial claw with his own demonic claw, ripping it and stunning the ninja before kicking him into a nearby tree. When Shino appeared, unleashing a cluster of insects at the enemy, parasitic insect jutsu, his companion moved directly toward Tazuna, with Sakura in a protective posture. Kiba struck the ninja tree next to Naruto's opponent, draining his energy. "Sasuke," Naruto said. "Way ahead of you, Naruto," Sasuke said as he leapt in midair and threw a shuriken into the tree in the center of the ninja, anchoring the chain that linked their artificial claws. "Now for some insurance," Naruto said, launching a kunai into the central cavity of the shuriken, embedding both weapons deep inside the tree wood. "What?" asked one of the samurai. Both pulled their metal claws as the cord shredded, injuring the claws, particularly Naruto's claw. Both ninjas charged at Tazuna again, only to be met by Kira and Hinata, who both used a chakra-enhanced gentle fist hand to strike them down. Shino took out some cords and tied the two samurai together. "Nice work, you guys," Kakashi said. "Naruto-kun, Hinata-chan, Kira-chan, were you three really that concerned about me?" Kurenai asked, emerging next to Kakashi. The three shed happy emotions, glad that they hadn't lost a loved one to him. The three charged at Kurenai, each kissing her fiercely, and then the four of them engaged in a tongue-fight royal, each sharing a four-way impassioned embrace. After witnessing the passionate embrace, Kiba, Tazuna, and Kakashi all had a huge nosebleed. "Alright, I'll start questioning these two," Kakashi said, removing his bloodstained disguise to reveal another face. To everyone's dismay, Kakashi had once again evaded his or her attempt to see his or her visage. "You okay, Sakura?" Sasuke had just kissed her. "Don't worry, I'm fine. How long have you been practicing Hinata's taijutsu?" Kiba stated. "Since Foxy-kun and I are betrothed to Hinata, and Hiyashi-sama knows about our lineage being comparable to theirs, he gave us some papers on Hinata's family taijutsu between all those D-ranked assignments we received. I and Foxy-kun both know how to do it. 8 trigrams, rotation, 8 trigrams, 64 palms, 8 trigrams, 128 palms, and 8 trigrams, 100 palms of fury," Kira explained. Kiba was stunned and enraged because Naruto was not only betrothed to Hinata, but he also knew her family's taijutsu, knew more about Hinata than him, and now they had something else in common. Both sides waited for Kakashi to appear and reveal what he knew. "Well, their names were the Demon Brothers," Kira scoffed when the term demon was mentioned, "and that's all I got before they passed out." "Demon Brothers? Where did I hear that?" wondered Naruto. "Tazuna, we need to speak because the ninja who struck us were Chunin level. To be honest, Kurenai and I let ourselves be captured to see who their target was. Us, ninja to ninja, are you," Kakashi explained. "Sigh. I suppose you had to find out sooner or later. In Wave Country, a tycoon called Gato reigned over us. He's a shipping merchant who bought all of our shipping docks," Tazuna stated. "So he'd control the trades coming and going from Wave Country," Kakashi concluded. "Right. Wave Country has become so impoverished, miners resort to thieving just to get something to eat, no job for anyone, and everyone's hope is gone. Gato may appear to be a cargo investor, but he is actually a drug dealer, unlawfully transporting uncommon goods, and employing renegade samurai to murder anyone who challenges him. Some of us were successful in saving money for a modest project. I'm sorry I misled you, Tazuna said. Well, based on the conditions, I'd say this operation is now an A-rated job. The obvious thing to do is return to the hamlet and get reinforcements, because I doubt 2 genin teams and 2 jonin will suffice. However, I'll leave it up to my team and Kurenai's team to determine. Kakashi spun around to face his 7 teammates. I don't see why I should turn back now. Furthermore, we can now demonstrate that we are prepared for more difficult missions, Naruto explained. Wasn't it also you who said that anyone who abandons their friends or puts themselves ahead of their team is lower than scum? Sasuke asked. We would be breaking that rule if we abandoned our client, Kira explained. Besides, we can't ignore the evils that afflict Tazuna-san's village, Hinata said. It's difficult, but not impossible, to free a village from a madman, Shino said.
Yeah, it gives me a chance to show off my moves, Kiba said, and probably in front of Hinata. I think Gato just underestimated us, and the first rule of combat is never underestimate your opponent, Sakura said.
Anyone who rules with fear should be brought to justice and held accountable for their actions, Kurenai said.
Then it's settled. Tazuna, we ninja of the Hidden Leaf Village will protect you until your bridge is finished, Kakashi said. Tazuna glanced at them all and bowed, tears in his eyes, thank you all.
When they came across a skiff that would take them to Wave Country, the party proceeded on their quest. With Naruto still perplexed as to where he heard the moniker, Demon Brothers, Kakashi-sensei, did you say the ninja who attacked us were Chunin level?
That's correct. Why? Well, for some reason, their name comes to mind, but I can't place it.
Well, if it helps they're from, Kiba cut Kakashi off by tossing a kunai into a thicket and pulling out a rabbit. What's your great plan, Kiba? You could have murdered that unfortunate rabbit. Screamed Sakura, but Kira muffled her. That rabbit's hair is white, but that's unlikely because it's not even winter, which means this rabbit was reared indoors, pondered Kira. Demon Brothers, Chunin level. They concealed in a pond, indicating they are from a water town. I believe they were banished and categorized as missing ninja, along with someone else. When he heard an item coming at a rapid pace, Naruto mentally shouted, Zabuza Momochi, get down everyone. As they ducked, a huge spinning object appeared behind them. Kakashi attacked Tazuna, and Sasuke held Sakura in his arms, with Kurenai, Shino, and Kiba ducking.
Naruto scattered his robe, gripping Tempest in his palm, and spun, producing a cyclone of wind around him, diverting the swirling object to show a large Zanbato embedding itself high up in a tree. I can see why the Demon Brothers were defeated. I guess it wasn't a fluke. A man emerged in the sword's handle, dressed in black and white sweatbands on both arms, loose trousers, 2 straps through which he holds his blade in a X shape, combat boots, no brows, and spiked hair held by his headband turned sideways.
Nice sword, kid. You must know how to wield a sword like that, but you lack experience due to not using it very often, the visitor commented. Zabuza Momochi, a rank missing ninja of the village hidden in the mist, one of the 7 swordsmen of the mist, master of the silent killing technique, and demon of the mist, Kakashi explained. Well, Kakashi Hatake the copy ninja, you've learned over 1,000 jutsus from various ninja. Imagine my surprise when I ran into you with these brats and a wench.
You're no match for this man, Kurenai. Protect Tazuna, Naruto, Hinata, and Sasuke, Kakashi said.
Along with Kurenai and her squad, the 3 took defending stances. I guess I'll have to use this, Kakashi said as he raised his cap, showing the Sharingan in his left eye.
Ah, the dreaded Sharingan. It's a pleasure to face you, Kakashi, the copy ninja. Zabuza yanked his Zanbato from the branch and hurled himself at Kakashi. Kakashi pulled out a kunai and mirrored the blades. Hidden mist jutsu, thought Zabuza as he leapt back and stretched his left hand in a half-ram seal with his right. The region was shrouded in dense cloud, making visibility virtually difficult. Release, exclaimed Kakashi, lifting his right palm in a half-ram seal.
Kakashi unleashed a large quantity of energy, dispersing the nearby clouds but significantly decreasing vision.
Kakashi couldn't detect him and leapt in front of everyone to listen to what was going on around him.
So this is a Jonin fight, Sasuke said, struggling to breathe due to the quantity of murderous intent released by the 2 Jonin. I can't breathe because the air is so dense. I don't believe I can manage this strain, Sasuke thought as he pulled out a kunai to sever his wrist. Sasuke, shouted Kakashi, jolting Sasuke from his reverie. Don't worry, I'll protect you with my life, Kakashi said, beaming. "How touching, Kakashi," said Zabuza, who appeared in the midst of Zabuza and Team 7.
However, you failed to safeguard your client. Zabuza turned around to face Tazuna as he brought his blade down to kill the bridge builder, only to be stopped by Naruto's 3 blades and Kira's own katana. She materialized with her chakra, which had a red handle, gold guard and hilt, a red 9-tail fox design at the base of the hilt, and a sharp blade that seemed to glow white at Kira's touch.
Kurenai used a kunai to strike a Zabuza, only to impact the air as the Zabuza leapt out of the way.
Kakashi embedded his kunai in Zabuza's back, where his vertebrae was, as he fell. As Zabuza scattered into a pool, water began to seep from his incision. "A water clone," exclaimed Kakashi as Zabuza emerged behind him, sweeping his Zanbato and slicing Kakashi in half, only to dissipate into a pool as well. He copied the water clone jutsu that quickly. Zabuza wondered as a cool metal was put against his neck.
"Your life ends here, Zabuza," Kakashi said as he appeared behind him. "Hey, so you think," Zabuza said as he struck his sword, causing Kakashi to back up as the 2 Jonin confronted each other on the surface of a lake. Kakashi mimicked every action of Zabuza, making him even more agitated by the second.
"Growl, stop imitating me, monkey, and fight like a man," yelled Zabuza. "Water style. Water prison jutsu." Zabuza sent a water clone towards Kakashi, only for it to dissipate before it made impact with the real Zabuza close behind it. A huge water orb formed around Kakashi, enclosing him. "What? Ha, 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 there is no chance you can flee, Kakashi. The water has been infused with my chakra, making it stronger than steel," Zabuza explained. "Now for the other pest," Zabuza said, half-ram seal in hand, as the water in front of him changed into another Zabuza. "Everyone run, you are no match for him," exclaimed Kakashi, but Kakashi-sensei, Sakura began, only to be cut off by Kakashi. "Pay attention, he's currently above your rank. You're such a hypocrite, Kakashi," Naruto said monotonously, his eyes hidden behind his hair, his arms crossed behind his cape. "So much for the abandoning your teammates, and you're lower than garbage, nonsense," everyone said to Naruto.
"Leave the clone to me," Kurenai said as she moved forward, showing her features and standing next to Naruto.
"When I'm done, the rest of you look after the actual Zabuza," Kurenai said in the same tone as Naruto. "Be careful, Kurenai-hime," Naruto advised. Kurenai simply beamed and kissed Naruto on the lips, saying, "Thank you for being concerned, but I'll be fine." "So it's ladies first then, eh?" Kurenai said as he walked slowly towards Zabuza's clone. "I suppose I'll grant your wish," the clone said, taking grasp of his Zanbato.
Zabuza strolled carefully towards Kurenai, gradually increasing his pace until he was sprinting straight towards Kurenai. Kurenai grinned as she vanished in a rush of wind as Zabuza sliced Kurenai laterally. "Impossible," the clone said, wide-eyed. As Zabuza responded with his Zanbato, Kurenai emerged from behind, hurling 4 kunai. Kurenai vanished once more in a rush of wind. "Yes, Genjutsu, so that's your expertise," the clone explained.
The clone hurled its massive blade directly behind him, right where Kurenai was standing, only for her to vanish in a cloud of smoke, a cut recorded in her place, as the spinning blade turned in midair, returning to its master.
A swarm of Kurenai encircled the clone as it rapidly out-extended its Zanbato as it shifted through the images, only for the real Kurenai to broaden her eyes and shut her eyes, recognizing she couldn't escape and waiting for the sword to end her life. "Kurenai-hime," Naruto said as he rushed forward, hoping to reach her in time.
Clank. Kurenai carefully opened her eyes to find a dome-like shield of luminous rose blossoms surrounding her, stopping the sword. "Is this another of your illusions, woman?" exclaimed the clone, astounded that a cluster of flower blossoms could halt a massive piece of metal. Naruto came to a halt, thankful to God that Kurenai was secure, but also intrigued as to how she was conducting a rose barrier.
"Well, what do you know, Kurenai-chan, like Angel-chan, can make her own weapon with her bow," Kira said. Kurenai heard what Kira said and began to consider the best tool for her when the rose petals responded by whirling around her faster and faster until the petals swirled around her body with a green handle emerging in Kurenai's right hand.
Kurenai examined the handle, discovering that the rose petals had transformed into a blade that reached half of Kurenai's arm.
The blade was crimson, matching Kurenai's irises exactly, and the handle was green, with 4 huge thorns jutting out where the guard was, a thorny knuckle guard, and a little rose pattern above the pommel. The leftover rose petals drifted into her opposite palm, creating a tiny barrier that resembled a fully bloomed rose. Kurenai looked over her new weaponry as she rushed Zabuza's clone, her new blade glowing crimson.
The clone put his Zanbato between it and Kurenai, but as Kurenai drove forward, the luminous sword got brighter, pushing the clone back and leaving skid tracks in the ground. Kurenai's blade gleamed brilliantly, with rose petals moving around it, making the blade appear to expand when it remained in its original form, with the extended rose petal blade tip brushing Zabuza's clone's Zanbato.
An elegant attack for an elegant lady, Naruto said, making Kurenai flush.
Kurenai strikes Zabuza's clone in a downward, diagonal arch with Kurenai kneeling on her left knee, her right arm outstretched holding her dagger, her shielded left hand touching the ground keeping her balanced, and her head facing down when a rose petal and leaf intertwined in midair. As the clone scattered into a pool, the rose petal and leaf entwined again and were cut down the center. Kurenai stood up when her vision blurred and she lost her equilibrium, but Naruto caught her before she struck the ground. "You did great, Kurenai Hime, now just rest while we take care of Zabuza," Naruto said. "Be cautious," Kurenai advised. Naruto summoned a shadow clone who brought Kurenai's wedding gown towards Tazuna and kept watch over them. "Hey, the woman wasn't half bad, I'll give her that," Tazuna said. "However, how are a swarm of genin going to halt me if the group's only 2 jonin are incapacitated? With your spoiled lives, you 3 have no idea what it's like to feel pain," Zabuza said.
Pampered existence, you say? That made me chuckle. I've been pummeled an inch closer to death my entire existence for something I couldn't control, and for framing someone essential to me. Most of my life has consisted of eating garbage and looking for scrap to survive because only a few people have shown me kindness and acceptance, so don't say I have a pampered life, Naruto explained.
"I concur with him, my existence has not been easy. Watching some cruel lunatic force you to witness how he murdered your family with some strange genjutsu nearly drove me crazy. He accused one of my family members, causing him to flee, fearful that I had gone insane and wanted nothing more than to terminate his life. Hey, our lives must have been similar to yours compared to ours," Sasuke said.
"So these 2 lads have witnessed more pain than anyone else in their lives. I guess I should put you 2 in my personal bingo book," Zabuza admitted.
"Well, put this down when you're writing it, Naruto Uzumaki Namikaze, the next Hokage of the Hidden Leaf Village. The new Uchiha clan's Sasuke Uchiha. Sasuke here," Naruto said, tossing an item at Sasuke. "This is," Sasuke thought as Naruto rushed forward with all 3 swords, only to be stopped by Zabuza's Zanbato. Naruto propelled Spark forward with his tail, but he was shoved back by Zabuza. "Demon Wind Shuriken, Windmill of Shadows," said Sasuke as he opened a huge shuriken. "Ha!" exclaimed Sasuke as he leapt into the air, hurling the big shuriken straight at Zabuza. "You think a shuriken can stop me?" exclaimed Zabuza, laying down his blade and grabbing the shuriken. "I told you, eh?" Zabuza paused in mid-sentence as another Demon Wind Shuriken approached him. "They concealed the second in the shade of the first," Zabuza reasoned. Zabuza then leapt over the shuriken, showing another Naruto spinning. "How about this?" said Naruto, tossing kunai at Zabuza. By reaction, Zabuza seized the kunai with his other hand, inadvertently releasing Kakashi. "Now you must face the wrath of some of the Hidden Leaf clans," shouted Naruto from the beach. "Aburame, Insect Spike Jutsu," exclaimed Shino as 2 giant spikes formed around his hands and flew towards Zabuza as he hurled his Zanbato at the blade, scattering the bugs as it curled back towards its master. "Inuzuka, Tunneling Fang," shouted Kiba, who was spinning in midair as Zabuza obstructed him with his Zanbato. "Haruno, Sakura Inner." A giant white Sakura emerged behind Sakura and propelled its fist down, causing Zabuza to leap back.
"Hyuga, Crystal Arrows," exclaimed Hinata as she formed her bow and shot 4 water projectiles that hardened into ice arrows as Zabuza destroyed them with her now closed shuriken. "Uchiha, Fire Style, Fireball Jutsu," exclaimed Sasuke as he blew out a massive fireball, which Zabuza negated by expanding the shuriken and rotating it quickly like a gigantic fan, thereby extinguishing the fireball.
"Hurricane Wind Jutsu, Namikaze." As Zabuza crossed the shuriken with his Zanbato, surviving Naruto's assault, a strong blast of wind neared him. "Lousy brats, you growl. You've forgotten I'm your opponent now," exclaimed Kakashi. As Kakashi imitated Zabuza's movements, he began making a series of hand gestures. "Water Style, Water Dragon Jutsu," shouted Kakashi and Zabuza as the hand signals were completed, with Zabuza widening his pupils. 2 water dragons began to shape at the same moment as both strikes collided, stopping the technique. How did he do it so quickly? Both strikes happened at the same moment. Zabuza pondered as Kakashi copied his every move when he noticed a figure behind Kakashi that looked like himself. "It can't be," He's just a chimpanzee doing everything I do. Zabuza thought as he began another series of hand signals. Zabuza, halt. You're going to finish this time, you monkey. Exclaimed Zabuza and Kakashi simultaneously, startling Zabuza. How could this be possible? Water style. Water vortex jutsu, said Kakashi as a giant tunnel of water form spun quickly until there was a giant revolving water orb that propelled itself towards Zabuza.
How? I was going to use the water vortex on Kakashi, Zabuza thought as he was thrown back into a tree, kunai embedding themselves in his body and binding him to the tree.
When Zabuza glanced up, Kakashi materialized in the tree limb where he was. See, can you see the future? Zabuza questioned. Yes, and your potential, Zabuza. Your future is death, said Kakashi in a low, lethal tone as he prepared to deliver the ultimate blow when two Senbon needles embedded themselves in Zabuza's neck, causing his body to fall inert. A hunter ninja emerged, dressed in a green and dark blue robe and a simple mask bearing the Hidden Mist Village insignia.
Thank you for weakening him. I've been on his trail for months, said the female hunting ninja. I guess you're welcome, Kakashi said.
Now, if you'll excuse me, his body contains many secrets that I must obtain, the hunting ninja said, touching Zabuza's body with one hand and performing a half-ram seal. Wait a second, hunting assassin operating on a corpse on the spot, and she's relocating the body. Hey, you stop, inwardly screamed Kakashi, she's with Zabuza. It was too late, and the two vanished in a flurry of leaves. Kakashi felt dizzy and lost consciousness on the ground. Tazuna's residence. Groan. Ah. Pant. Phew. Remember to never consume dessert before an assignment. If you pass out, you'll have nightmares about the cancellation of Ika Ika Paradise, Kakashi said aloud. When he attempted to get up, he discovered that his body wasn't reacting as it should because he had squandered so much chakra in his battle, and he blacked out from severe chakra fatigue that would take him a week to recoup from. Are you okay? Inquired a gorgeous woman with long black hair, black eyes, and a well-curved figure who was standing by the entrance carrying a tray of food for Kakashi. I am now, Kakashi thought, a twisted gleam in his eye. Wham! Don't even think about it, you pervert! Exclaimed Sakura, striking out the Jonin with a big hammer. Where did you get that mallet? The lady inquired. Sakura held up a parchment with the words, Weapon Scroll for Perverts, Guyan Lee, and Idiots, written on it. Please refer to the owner's handbook for the sequence of sealed items, sealing directions, and unsealing requirements. Something Sasuke and Naruto have been working on, Sakura said as she opened the tablet and locked the hammer away. Well, that must come in handy at some point, the lady smiled. Dinner is ready, come on, said the woman as she placed Kakashi's food plate on a table next to his bed in a pair of crouches on the other side of the bed next to the wall. After you, Tsunami-san, Sakura said, holding the door open. There's no need to be polite, Sakura. Just call me Tsunami, Tsunami laughed. Sakura and Tsunami entered the dining room, Sakura throwing a paper to Naruto and saying, You were correct, Kurenai-sensei. He did have perverted thoughts about her, Sakura said to Kurenai as everyone sat down to dine. Alright, let's get started, Tazuna said as everyone ate while conversing. After the dinner, a little boy dressed in what appeared to be green fisherman's trousers, a fisherman's cap, and a white blouse stood up and said, I'm going to my room, in a despondent tone. Who wants pie? Asked another Naruto as he walked out of the kitchen carrying 2 big pies.
After pie, the kid said, hurriedly shifting course and seating down again.
After dinner, the child sat calmly again while everyone else laughed and talked. What brings you here? Why can't you just go back to where you came from? Exclaimed the youngster. Inari, exclaimed Tsunami. Inari rose and went to his chamber. Everyone spotted the photo at the bottom of the steps where Inari was supposed to go upstairs to his room when he departed. Tsunami, Inari, and Tazuna were all beaming in the photo, but there was a 4th individual missing their visage.
Who is the person in the picture with his face ripped off? Sakura inquired. Oh, no, Inari never met his biological parent.
So one day, a gang of thugs picked on him by stealing his dog.
The attackers tossed the dog into the lake, but I had no idea how to swim at the time.
Inari leapt in to help the helpless creature, but he forgot he didn't know how to swim either. While Inari was struggling to remain aloft, the canine appears to have learned to swim on the spot as if it were reflex. After that, Inari began lowering until a guy called Kaiza jumped into the lake to save him. Inari didn't trust him at first, but as time passed, he came to regard him as a parent figure. All of that changed when Gato took over. Kaiza taught the village about courage, but Gato didn't like it and ordered his execution in public, destroying everyone's hope like Inari, Tazuna stated. I see, Sakura said, feeling sad for Inari.
It's late, and I need all of you fresh in the morning.
Your training begins tomorrow, Kakashi said as he rose from his position.
When did you arrive? Exclaimed everyone. Do you have to be so loud?
When Naruto brought out the dessert, I arrived. You know Naruto, if you want to stop being a ninja, you can open a restaurant, Kakashi said. A eatery, now there's a notion, Naruto mused. Everyone agreed to go to bed as Naruto settled down on his bed and felt Kira on top of him, with Hinata on his right and Kurenai on his left. We're engaged Naruto, so it's only fair that we sleep together, Kira explained. Whatever you want my Himes, let's just save that for a special occasion, Naruto said as he ardently greeted each of his fiancés and intertwined their tails before falling asleep. The following morning, everyone, including Kakashi, chose to get up early in the morning and eat swiftly as Kakashi took the two genin teams outside in an isolated section of the woodland. This is your practice, then, each of you will climb a tree.
That's simple. What kind of training is that? Exclaimed Kiba, only to be smacked on the head by Kurenai.
He was about to tell you that you had to ascend the tree without using your hands. All you have to do is concentrate energy into your feet in order to stay attached to the tree. Even Kakashi and I had to master this chakra management practice when we were genin. You really should learn not to interrupt someone when they're talking, Kiba, Kurenai said. I'll show you, Kakashi said, concentrating energy on his feet as he walked up the tree and, just for amusement, strolled upside down on a tree limb. He then pulled out 7 kunai and tossed one at the genin's feet.
Use these to record your accomplishments where you last stopped and see if you can better.
It's a little challenging at first, but you'll get the knack of it eventually, and a word of advice, you might want a sprinting start to assist, said Kakashi.
Each genin grabbed a kunai and began training on a tree.
Naruto attempted to run towards his tree but slipped on the first step. Sasuke then attempted only 2 steps before his foot burst through the tree's bark. So too little and you fall, and too much and the branch splits, Hinata reasoned. Hinata attempted only 10 steps before feeling herself slide, marking her location, jumping off the tree, spinning in midair, and landing on the earth. Kira just stood there staring at the tree, as if pondering something. Kurenai's squad was making little headway as well, with Kiba tiring only to slide like Naruto on the first step, forcing Akamaru to leap back to escape becoming a pancake dog. Hey, how about some advice down here? Kiba said, looking up to see Shino and Sakura standing on a tree limb. It's easy Kiba, too much destroys the tree, too little you fall.
Use the proper amount of chakra, and try to release it at a steady rate so you can stay attached to the tree, Sakura explained to everyone. Naruto, Sasuke, and Kiba made sluggish progress, while Kira and Hinata were the next 2 individuals to reach the summit of their tree.
Around dusk, Sasuke, Kiba, and Naruto had successfully reached the summit of their tree, and the 3 boys returned to Tazuna's home, exhausted by chakra. Sasuke entered his room, snuggled next to Sakura, kissing her passionately, while Naruto entered his room, Hinata on top of him, Kurenai on his right, and Kira on his left, kissing each of them individually, before they shared a heated 4-way kiss and fell asleep. Zabuza's hideaway, you blew it, how can you possibly fail? I paid top dollar for you, and I'm still waiting for results. Shouted a short man with long spiked hair wearing eyeglasses similar to Shino's, carrying a cane with a gold point, and dressed in a business power suit with 2 samurai protectors. Gato, calm your animals. Apparently the old man hired Kakashi, the copy ninja of the Leaf Village, said a weary Zabuza as he lay down in his bed with Haku applying salve to his wounds and the demon brothers standing next to him.
I don't care who he hired, I just want him dead, screamed Gato, striking his cane on the ground. It appears to me that the infamous Demon of the Mist is getting old, one of Gato's samurai guardians commented.
Look who's talking about old guys, said Maizu, one of the demon brothers. Hey, he even needs his personal lackeys and his slew, said the second bodyguard, only to be cut off by Gozu, the second demon brother, with his artificial blade near the bodyguard's neck. Go ahead and say it, all I need is a tiny scratch from this claw, and the poison will take effect immediately. The security trembled and chose to remain silent as the demon brother returned to his initial position next to Zabuza's bed.
Groan, don't fear, Gato, I'll be fine by the end of the week. Tazuna will be gone after that, Zabuza predicted. He'd better be, Gato said, motioning his 2 security out of the room. Zabuza was there with the demon brothers and Haku alone in his room once the room was vacant. You nearly slipped there, you know, Zabuza said to Gozu. Sorry, it just burns me up whenever someone insults Sis, the second demon brother explained. I understand. Every time I see his bodyguards looking at Sis, I see this evil glint in their eyes, as if they're planning to rape her, Maizu said.
That's why I requested a single apartment for all of us. That way, we can keep an eye on Gato and make sure no one takes advantage of Haku since I saw those two bodyguards of his, Zabuza explained. What do you think we should do? Haku inquired as he applied more salve. For starters, I believe this little freak does not intend to pay us and intends to dispose of us once the jobs are completed, Zabuza explained. Hey, so we have all the time in the world, the Maizu remarked. For the time being, however, his cases are running low. I don't think he'll wait for us to kill Tazuna, Zabuza said. But right now it's late, and we should get some slumber. I don't want any of you to complain about being fatigued in the morning. You'll be following these Leaf Samurai tomorrow to see what they're up to. We'll stay in touch via a comm link, Zabuza said. The following day, someone pulled on Sakura's coat as she walked down the street. She turned around to see a small child who appeared to be famished. You must be hungry, Sakura said, delving into her trench coat pocket and drawing out a nutrition bar. It doesn't taste particularly delicious, but it's at least nutritious. Hey Sakura-chan, can you help us set this up? Said Naruto as his clones carried a large amount of equipment with his team and Kurenai's team, as well as Tsunami, Inari, and Tazuna, near a water spigot. Kakashi was also there on sticks. Sure, Naruto, Sakura said, still perplexed by what was going on. Naruto took a step back to admire everyone's hard work after everything was set up. It appeared to be an outdoor banquet with chairs made up to resemble an outdoor eatery. Are you Naruto? What is all of this? Sakura inquired. Well, after what Kakashi-sensei said 2 days ago, it started me thinking that starting an eatery isn't a terrible notion. I can assist the people in this hamlet by providing complimentary meals and, ideally, restoring some optimism by demonstrating that all is not gone. After explaining the situation and my plan to the old man, I sent a messenger falcon to pack some equipment that I needed, Naruto said. How about protecting Tazuna? Well, I told him about my plan, and he thought it was such a good idea that he gave the workers the day off just to come and see us, so he'll be right here where we can watch him. But what if the enemy launches an attack? Kakashi-sensei told me that Zabuza was put in a near-death state, so he'd need at least a week to recover like Kakashi-sensei. But where will you get fresh ingredients? I brought some from before we left the village, and since my squad already has calling contract with birds, I can use them to transport some fresh provisions from nearby communities. Also, if someone requires medicinal goods for a family member who is too ill to travel here, they can ask us, and we'll dispatch a courier avian to get them for free because we'll pay for everything. Angel Heim dispatched an eagle emissary to Hiyashi-sama, who happily agreed to deliver the bill to him and the Hokage because both he and the old man are willing to pay for it. How will you power all of this if there is no generator?
Sasuke and I can connect our blades to generate an electrical current to power everything, and it's environmentally friendly.
You seem to have planned everything, don't you?
Yep, Naruto replied, his foxy smile wiggling his tail.
Naruto and Sasuke linked their blades to electrical wires that were connected to a battery with a socket that powered the warming lights and ovens. Naruto placed on a smock and a hairnet over his head, as well as a hairnet over his tail, which he had curled into a tiny fur ball. Tsunami, Kurenai, and Hinata all wore hairnets, with a hairnet covering Kurenai and Hinata's tails. Later, Sasuke, Shino, and Kiba appeared in black suits with eyeglasses and weapon compartments affixed to their right leg, while Akamaru emerged in a dog-sized black costume. Sakura stared at Sasuke with hearts in her eyes as Kira walked next to her wearing a red blouse, white shorts, and a server apron as she gave Sakura a waitress apron, a notepad, and pen. Why am I wearing this? Sakura questioned. Because you and I are the sexy waitresses taking orders down, or offering the buffet, while Sasuke, Shino, Akamaru and Kiba, who finally took a bath, are on security detail protecting Tazuna, and breaking up riots, while Tsunami, Naruto-kun, Kurenai-chan, and Hinata-chan are the head chefs since they're the only ones in the group who can cook well, explained Kira. Just the two of us? Sakura inquired, glancing around at the gathering throng of locals interested in the new stand. No, that's not suicide. I can perform shadow clones to assist us in waiting tables, Kira explained. Sakura removed her cape and trench coat and put it next to Tazuna, Inari, and Kakashi, where Naruto, Hinata, Kira, and Sasuke had placed theirs.
Shadow Clone Jutsu. shouted Naruto, Kira, and Sasuke as 105 Naruto clones, 25 Sasuke clones, and 35 Kira clones appeared.
Okay, I want 5 of my clones, Sasuke clones, and Kira Hime's clones to serve as summoners ready to dispatch messenger birds to get new provisions, and I want 25 of you with me, 25 with Hinata Hime, 25 with Kurenai Hime, and the last 25 with Tsunami. Alright, people, let's get moving, we've got hungry customers to feed. Commanded Naruto as his clones saluted, tapping their heels together and shouting, Sir. I want 5 on sauces, 10 on soups, and the other 10 on main dishes, Naruto said as the clones silently followed the chief chef's instructions.
As the 4 cooks began preparing their customers' orders, a big throng formed a line. Hinata and Naruto handled the orders for those seated, while Kurenai and Tsunami handled the smorgasbord.
For table 6, I need 4 prepared poultry and a ribeye roast with stewed veggies. Soup, I've placed an order for the special at tables 8 and 10. Sauces, I'm still waiting for that spicy sauce for the pasta, Hinata said as she approached an empty burner and began cooking some seafood that had been ordered. I require a refresh in plate 2 of the smorgasbord. If you're running short on prawns, make a fresh preparation. Soups, sauce, I have 2 containers that need to be refilled, Kurenai said, slipping on oven gloves and removing a big turkey from an oven. In the spread, I need more cooked vegetables and mashed potatoes. Tsunami tasted 4 various sauces and said, add a little more rosemary to give it that zesty taste, sampling the fist. Let it simmer a little longer, says the second. It's ready, fill the tank, says the third. Needs more tomatoes, says the fourth taster. How's the boiled crab coming?
I need 5 more minutes, a clone said. You have 3, Tsunami said as she began breaking eggs for an omelette.
Stews. I require 8 mushroom stews for tables 13 and 20. I needed that cut fish for the table 15 minutes ago. I need some seasoning on this roasted duck right now, Naruto said. Sir, we're out of basil, a clone said. Tell the summoners to send a carrier bird to get more, Naruto said as he finished his noodles. Sasuke, Shino, Kiba, and Akamaru surveyed the tables, making sure that no one was creating any problems in line or at the tables. Occasionally, a few locals became restless in the food line, but they were swiftly halted by the boys, who pushed them to the rear of the line to wait even longer for disrupting the serenity.
Kira and Sakura served tables, jotting down orders and displaying a placard with some of the specialties. Kira had several clones working on the smorgasbord, feeding customers who were restless and didn't want to wait for their food. Haku and the Demon Brothers, who were perched in a tree, were perplexed by the Leaf Ninja's activities.
What are they doing? The Maizu inquired. I believe they're cooking for the villagers, Gozu speculated. I'll go down there and check it out because they don't know who I am, Haku said. Be careful, Zabuza said over the comm connection they were wearing. When Haku unintentionally collided into the original Sasuke, she leapt down from the tree wearing a pink sleeveless kimono with yellow flower patterns, and her hair was down instead of her normal tight ponytail.
Oh sorry, both Haku and Sasuke said at the same moment, blushing at the sight of each other.
So, what are you doing with all of this? Haku inquired. Well, Tazuna said that some people were going hungry, so we decided to contribute some of our resources to help feed the people and deliver medical supplies, free of charge, Sasuke explained. If you want, I'll show you to a table here, said Sasuke, behaving like a gentleman. He guided Haku to a table and drew out a chair for her, making her flush. Your waitress should be with you shortly, Sasuke said.
Hey sis, see if they have any fried fish with rice on the side, the Maizu said over the tiny, skin-colored comm connection concealed behind Haku's left ear. I'll take that spicy pasta special that says on the sign, Gozu said. You two, knock it off. This isn't a fast food restaurant. Could you please inquire if they serve grilled chicken with citrus sauce and noodles? Zabuza stated. I thought you said this wasn't takeout? The Maizu inquired. Shut up, Zabuza said angrily. Welcome, Sakura said as she approached Haku, making her perspiration plummet. Today's specials include fiery spaghetti, stewed crab, tomato sauce, and chicken parmesan. We also have some summoners available if you require medicinal supplies for someone who requires medical care. What do you want to order?
Haku asked the queries Zabuza and the Demon Brothers had instructed her to ask. When Sakura replied that they do, and that they take out, Haku placed her order, along with a stock of medicinal plants, as Sakura scribbled it down and departed. When Sakura departed, Haku heard Zabuza and the Demon Brothers applauding over the comm connection. No more crappy food from Gato's so-called top chef tonight, boys. Yeah, exclaimed both siblings, causing Haku to perspiration once more. Everyone in the community was relieved to be able to consume food again instead of rummaging through trash for a meager dinner, and they departed with enough takeout food to last them several days. All of the locals began to recover optimism as a result of the Leaf Ninja's compassion. Naruto and the group chose to clean and repack the equipment into the scroll that the Hokage had sent to Naruto, and then give it to a phoenix resting on Kira's shoulder to make its final delivery. Zabuza's hideaway. Because Haku had to enter through the window, Zabuza, the demon brothers, and Haku were shut up in Zabuza's chamber consuming their meal. Wow, this stuff is amazing. Who knew a genin, a jonin, and a civilian could cook as well as 5-star chefs? Let's keep this between us. Some of these people, I believe, deserve a vacation. They even airmailed medical supplies to them, Zabuza said. That's just like you, Zabuza, always hiding your kind heart behind a tough exterior, Haku said, making Zabuza flush. They decided to fire the remains and throw the embers outside the window after making sure no one was underneath it. Tizuna's residence. After a long day of labor, everyone was having supper when Inari exclaimed, "Why? Why do you put in so much effort? You know you can't beat Gato and his troops, but you're still here spreading fake optimism. You have no idea how much agony we are going through. You sissy," Naruto said monotonously. "What did you do? Do yourself a favor, child, and stop talking. I despise it when people whine about their circumstances without considering that others have it much worse. I know what it's like to be alone, despised, ostracized, and without anyone to adore. At the very least, you have your mother and grandpa."
I don't even have a biological related to designate a cousin. I would have done anything to feel a mother's love, Naruto explained. "You're making this up," exclaimed Inari. "Really? So I'm making this up, huh?" said Naruto as he stood up and removed his cape, trench coat, and shirt, revealing hundreds of wounds. "Do you think these are also made up?" Inari was taken aback by Naruto's numerous marks and cuts on his torso and limbs near his shoulder. "I have more on my quadriceps and hips. I've been stabbed, pummeled, torched, and sliced numerous times, each time with the intention of taking my life, and 10 times worse on my birthday.
I couldn't even approach a trash can to rescue some food to put in my tummy.
I sobbed myself to sleep numerous evenings until I got weary of it and resolved to work hard to demonstrate to the people of my community that I do merit their regard, that I am worth more than what they see.
So don't come weeping to me about pain because I've seen it all," Naruto said, putting his shirt back on, grabbing his trench coat and hood, and walking away as Tsunami covered her lips in tears after seeing his wounds. Inari kept staring at Naruto, attempting to process what he had just witnessed. He had a lot of them, and that big one looked like a severe laceration. The horrors that child has seen, Tizuna reflected. As Kakashi stood up, completely healed due to one of the medical supplies his team had preserved for him, the Leaf Ninjas glanced in the direction Naruto had fled. "How are you feeling?" Kakashi inquired. "Fine, I guess," Naruto said, seated on a veranda with his feet hanging above the surface of a lake and bouncing a pebble across the surface. "You know, what you did back there was correct, even if it was a little severe. But I believe Inari will realize now that sometimes you have to move when you feel like you're drowning in your own grief," Kakashi said in a fatherly tone. "I never took you as the fatherly type, Kakashi-sensei," Naruto chuckled gently as he listened to his sensei. "What can I say, I have my moments," Kakashi said, beaming. "Now come on, rest up. I believe we have a long day ahead of us tomorrow, and try not to strain yourself. I noticed how tired you looked in the morning after mastering the tree walking exercise in one night," Kakashi said. Naruto acknowledged as both Kakashi and Naruto returned to the home on their way to bed. To be continued.
That's it for this podcast. Thanks for listening to this video. If you did enjoy this part of the story, like, share, and subscribe for more. And thank you all for your help and support, and have a great day.